Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain things in life that we just simply forget, like where did I put my keys, was the door closed when I went out, when was the last time I had a conversation with a woman, and for me, personally, it was when the hell did I last time saw a Vayne player, because I feel like this champion is kinda forgotten. He's in the shadows. You've got Zaya, you've got Zeri, who's playing all the time. Lucian is coming into the meta. There is Aphelios. There was Jinx Aphelios for a very long time. And where in this everything was Vayne? I feel like nowhere. But there are certain people that can make this champ just simply go crazy. And today we're going to watch one of them. The guy that I am going to introduce you to today is Spolvce. And some people might know him, some people might not. He's Jizu. Not like the guy with the long hair, it's just his nickname. And he's currently in the semi-finals of EU Masters. It's called EMEA Masters right now. I think he eliminated like Supa or something like this. I just know ADC players, okay? Don't be mad at me. Here is like the bracket or something, in case you just didn't know. But the thing that for me makes him stand out is the fact that he's very consistent at Vayne playing. Like, there are certain people that pick Vayne if there are like 7 tanks in an enemy and then you can just shred it and then you play it like 1 out of 100 games and these are the called so Vayne players, right? But not him. He's playing mostly Vayne. So that is really surprising to me. So I just wanted to take a look at what he's exactly doing. Also, he's playing with Camilius in team. Some people might know him. He's a very adorable Serbian, I think. Or I'm actually not sure. He's a support player that swears a lot in Polish. I mean, I've heard him swear sometimes on Twitter, so I don't know if that particularly counts. But without further ado, perhaps let's just simply jump straight into the gameplay. Time controls of this, interface, and okay. Let's just do it like this, and we only want to see Vayne. We don't want to see the whole map. We don't want to know where the enemies are, and we can already know that they're here, but still, he doesn't know. So we're just like going to pretend that we also don't know, right? This matchup is kinda interesting because this is a Karma Vayne against Ezreal and Rell. So in case you're wondering, Karma is very strong on lane. And with very strong, he has like this ultimate mantra, right? That is very strong in terms of pushing, because she kinda validates Vayne on the lane. I'm rhyming and I don't even feel it, whoa. She kinda validates the pick of Vayne, because what Vayne lacks is certainly wave push. And since you got Karma, you can like even this out just by a tiny bit. And you can already know that this is going to be an interesting matchup since Ezreal takes 3 potions. So he's expecting a lot of trades, a lot of backlash from mispositioning or just simply all-ins. We're going to see what happens. They for sure want to have the level 2 at first. They want and they probably will since it's Karma, right? And Rell, if she was ever to come to the minions, this is exactly what is happening. She's just getting choked. She's just, yeah, exactly. She's just losing a lot of HP every time she comes to minions. So having already almost the level 2, and now they have got the level 2, flashing into the Ezreal, and now perhaps this Rell will do something not particularly. She just went out of her way, went out of her horse, and this trade I think is really positive for them. Whoa, and now coming in with the flash, also having Ezreal that is at your back, and whoa, killing this Karma for the first time. Since she used her flash so recklessly, it was really easy to punish this. And something what I'm also wondering is where the hell is this Belvet at? I would assume that she's at the bottom side of the map normally, because we already see the camps like on the map, on the mini map here, so we know she's in the top side. But still, usually what happens in my elo is that when bot leashes, when bot comes late, it means that they leashed, so the jungler is going to be at the top side at 4:15. But since this is a challenger elo gameplay, this won't happen. It just simply won't. because they want to have this element of surprise, and this is exactly what is going to happen. They are going to have this little element of surprise since Jarvan is coming at the back, but since they anticipated it, they just went out of their way. And wait a minute, now Rel is still under the tower. How did they see this? Did they have ward somewhere? I mean, this ward couldn't have spotted since there is a pink ward here. So I'm really interested how they exactly managed to get the information that Jarvan is going to be on the bottom side, but now Belvet is also at the bottom side and Jarvan is the same exactly, and Karma is getting caught once again in a very awkward position. That was, I mean, dying for the second time. It was very interesting what she did. I mean, you have two people here, one people here, and two of your allies are here. Let's look what is going to happen. Perhaps you're going to die. Well, that is what is simply going to happen. And now Ezreal with 2 kills, a little bit less CS, but he has got the tempo, so I don't know what you particularly want to do against this. Since he has got his Shin, he had got a potion and this Doran with a tier, so this is going to be really annoying. But I think if you play this matchup outright, this isn't the end of the world. This could be the beginning of the end of the world, but it certainly isn't for now. And since you have got only like 32 CS as Vayne, with 32 CS I assume you can't buy yourself a Noon Quiver, that's for sure. With 30 CS it's like double longsword, or like perhaps boots, so you had to stay, and since you had full HP it doesn't really matter, right? This is just going to be a very annoying early game. Since you have just got a Doran's Blade at yourself for Jizu, and a Shin, exactly, this is the item that I wanted to say, as Ezreal. So perhaps having your wave at the very near end of your tower is the way to play. Normally what you do against Ezreal in almost any matchups that I play, it's like the Sivir, it's like for Xayah like that, it was also like that for Jinx for a very long time. When you play against Ezreal, you just push into oblivion and don't really give a shit about what is going to happen, since he can't use his Qs if he has to use his Qs on minions. Does that make sense? And if this was a engage support on side of this Jizu, of Vayne, right? He would have played this just a tiny bit different. Because once you have an engaged support, you just don't want to push into oblivion, because wait a minute, now Jarvan coming from behind, and this is perhaps going to be a kill for them. Not sure what is happening, but now flashing in and with a flash killing this Ezreal at the perfect moment. Is this perhaps going to be a second kill for Vayne, and now Karma taking it? Well, I guess some people are mad here. This was a sure way to secure the kill, but I think that she just didn't care. That like, well, I'm whoa, and now Belvet coming from behind. Is she perhaps going to kill someone? This Q was very awkward. I don't know even if that's a Q, but well, this wave is in a very awkward position, since the cannon wave minion is now coming. So you're just going to bleed out, and you can't stay here because you're just going to die. So you have to base. I mean, I think some players might have just come to the bush and hope to get the experience from it. But since you're already level 6, you don't really care that much about experience. You can bleed out this one particular wave, so I think this is exactly what was going all on through his head when he just went to the base. And Karma being on the river now, okay. I also didn't notice that this is a Nidalee on top lane. It seems very strange to me, but I've seen this peak a couple of times. But I've seen this peak when I was climbing to Masters on UW, and I was seeing it mostly in like Platinum Elo. So I just assume it's just a like very strange way of playing, and this is exactly a very strange way of playing from this Karma. I thought that she will just get caught in this moment, but I guess she has those jukes. And what she also has is 3 deaths, so I don't know if those jukes are particularly useful, since you are dying for no reason at all. But yeah, I mean, sometimes that happens, you know. The funny thing about support is that I feel like supports don't really care if they win lane. Like honestly, they will be just super duper aggressive in hopes of stomping, and if they don't, I mean, you're a support, it's not your problem. I mean, well, my IDC is perhaps going to die a few times to like jungler, and he won't be able to do anything on the lane, but hey, I can just roam mid, roam top, kill them both, and still be challenger. I mean, it's just how I see them. I know it's much more difficult than that, okay? I am quite aware of this fact. But a simplistic view of League of Legends is very helpful in terms of not going insane. And wait, what? Yeah, I mean, this Karma is absolutely insane now. She's just... Wait, what? What? What did just happen? Karma, and wait a minute now, this was... How much? So she just waited for the shard to proc, and she just did the auto attack into E. Okay, I mean, I think it works, since you just caught someone, and you're going static shift. I mean, this makes so much sense on Vayne. Because as I mentioned earlier, I mean, the thing that you... Oh, okay, now coming with Flash. The thing that is very stressful at Vayne, okay, this was very weird. The thing that is very stressful as Vayne is that you don't have the wave push, right? And having static shift it gives you that. So I don't know why I didn't see more of Vayne players. Perhaps on an A, but like you can play anything on an A and still be Grandmaster, so it doesn't really matter. I've heard once from pro players that UNE has got a higher level than NA. I'm not quite sure about this, I've never played on NA. But it could be like this. When I was watching some of the gameplay from NA, it seemed like an Animal Kingdom. But it's just like Animal Kingdom at every stage of the game, at every region of League of Legends. So I think it's just like a overall thingy. But since I was watching NA and I knew that I was watching NA, I perhaps interpreted it differently. And now, having Eye of the Herald from Jarvan, so perhaps looking to do something on bot lane, it might be kinda smart to do so, since, well, if you get your Vayne ahead, who's going to stop her? Like, you've got some CC, but she has good clans, so you don't really care, and she can just shred your front lane. Like, your front lane is... Wait, what? Okay, now coming with a flash, and is this going to be a very... Whoa, and just killing her, coming with an insane flash, and this is a double kill for this Vayne. Holy moly, this was absolutely ridiculous what she just did here. A very nice reaction, coming with a flash from Velvet, and just dodge this, going into Ezreal's face, laughing at him. And, well, I mean, Jarvan did his job here. He was... Okay, now Swain coming in with his ultimate. Yeah, this is just going to be a death. I mean, Jarvan did his job here. He just came bot side, and what he did bot side is killing the... And say double kill, okay. What he just did was exactly what he was supposed to do. Since he had the Eye of the Herald being on the blue, and once you saw that there is a fight going on bot, you just come to roam and kill them, and this is exactly what was expected from you. And now I'm really wondering, since Nico is solo on the HP, is she going to go bot side, top mid side? No, mid lane, not mid side. No, okay, so I understand the macro play. I mean, the wave looks the way it looks. So, and since your Nico is just dying anyway because Karma went top, yeah, I still don't understand some of the plays that Karma is making, but I guess since she's in this elo, she has to have some plan, and this is just a very unfortunate game. Why am I giving these challenger players a benefit of the doubt? Well, I don't know, but I think it's just better than to do so than just shit on them. Like some players do. I mean, some people do. Because, well, you can't really see thoughts behind certain actions. I mean, you can assume what the thought was, but the thought process behind karma is very fascinating for me. Let's just keep it at that. And now you're going to Vayne against Swain as Vayne. I don't quite think you can kill him with level 9, that's for sure. But since he doesn't have his ultimate... Okay, so now Ezreal came back and, well... Nah, I mean, if you had Ghost as Vayne in this moment, I think he would consider running him just down. But you don't know where Swain is, you don't know where anyone is. Swain was perhaps on bot just waiting, Rel could have been behind her, so... we don't want to give them the extra tempo and just giving them out the free turrets, right? Since you're just a lonely ADC on the bot lane. And Needle is actually doing kinda great into Yasuo. I mean, I thought that this will be just an incredibly hard matchup, but since she's kinda a level ahead, and this is exactly the item I was seeing in my games. The Divine Sunderer. I don't know what she went next. I can only remember it was Divine Sunderer. But still. Okay, and now being at mid side, so at mid lane, sorry, being at mid lane. Okay, so this is the very standard swap of the position. So you and your support just go mid, and you leave your mid laner just be at bot side and chilling. Okay, and Karma checking out the bush, and now wait a minute, this was a ROM from Vayne. Okay. I didn't quite see when she did this, honestly. I didn't anticipate it, that's for sure. I was concentrated on some things going on the little bit of a bottom river. Yeah, exactly. And now, coming in, having level 10, and since Belvet has got a lot of CC now, okay, Vayne is going to clear them up, and still coming in, Jarvan just dying. Okay. And you don't really give a shit about your teammate as AD carry. That's like the main rule for ADCs. The thing that you have to get in head to your head as AD carry is that your teammates can be. You can't. So what I mean by that is you are so dependent on resources, not like any other role in the game, because your only utility as AD carry is damage. That's all you got, and you don't really have base damage. You don't deal that much base damage, so you have to get in your head that you have to just be farming as AD carries, and this is exactly what he did. There was a fight going on. I mean, let's dive for yourself. I will just back off, buy second item, which is Trinity Force, and perhaps go now Herald. Okay, Yasuo coming from bot side, but this is just going to be taken, and this Herald was taken for Belvet. Okay, I don't know how she quite took it, but well, I assume she just stole it. Could it be? I don't know. Can I look at the logs? Could you perhaps not spam for no reason? Targeted the Herald. Yeah, I guess she stole it. I don't know. I'm just assuming some things. And Rel being caught almost once again. And why is this Karma so far outside? She's playing so aggressively. I wouldn't have the balls to do so. I mean, she just doesn't care. I'm going to die. Well, maybe not. But I can do much more. I can do psychological warfare to my enemies. And once I do psychological warfare to my enemies, they're just going to be scared of me. And it's like this little guy that comes to you and is very confident in himself, and then you're just like, why the hell is he so confident? Like, I could smack him, but I won't, but I could. Why are you, why? This is exactly the type of questions that I'm asking myself with Karma, but perhaps we're just going to skip that part. Vampiric Scepter bot for Vayne. So the third item is going to be what? Botrk? I mean, I've seen a lot of Trinity Force for AD carries. I think it was especially popular with Twitch at some point. I think it was like Veigar V2 who popularized it, or it was Molecule. I mean, these both guys like really to talk about runes. Also Alice, but I don't see him that often. And my god, what is this damage? And where the hell this wind wall, well, I can't talk. Okay, and now, wait, what? And he just survived this. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Wait, what? And there's also this bug where we didn't see the wind wall. It just seemed extremely strange to me that his third auto as Vayne didn't deal anything. I was very considerate of his items right now, but he doesn't have any items. He has the same items as Belvet, so I assume it was just wind wall. So this was a very nice wind wall, and still, these Yasuo players, man. I feel like the higher you go, the more they're doing something. And what I mean by that is, like when you're playing with Yasuo or against Yasuo on my elo, they are whether a god of the game or they're just absolutely useless and not doing anything. These higher elo Yasuos, like from Grandmaster above, they're still doing something if they're just seeming absolutely useless. And wait, now coming on with a flash, and this is, whoa, this is exactly a flash from Vayne, stomping him into the wall, and third auto is going to kill him. I mean, he was looking for the Swain, but since he got Belvet, I think he doesn't complain that much, and now he doesn't have got his ultimate anymore, but he's still shredding this AD carries like, my god, okay. This is a lot of damage from this guy. I didn't quite anticipate that on 2 items you get such burst as Vayne. I thought that she didn't do anything since for like 3 items at least, and then you're like doing minimally amount of damage. But well, when I was playing Vayne, I played her for crit mostly. It was like probably back in season 8, when you were like doing Infinity Edge, you were doing Botrk as first. Yeah, this was this very slow build, and Vayne also felt like paying it. Oh, he stole it. I think he's mad, but still, you don't need mana as Vayne, so that's fine. But since there are new technologies in the game, she started dealing damage. That is very nice. And is your third item going to be Botrk, or are you going for? Yeah, I mean it's going to be Botrk. It also makes sense because you got this guy that wants to engage, this guy that will be engaging on you, this guy that will be follow-upping this guy, and this guy is going to be also in your face. So slowing one of them might be useful. I don't think that it will be preventable to just not randomly kinda die in the team fight, but I guess we're going to see what is going to happen. I mean, it seems like they're winning, but the thing about the enemy composition is that it seems like they can have just one good fight and they will be able to win this. Like when you randomly catch Vayne as Belvet and then you go in as Yasuo, she's dead. I mean, you can't cleanse knockups, right? And since you can't cleanse knockups and Yasuo is just going to be on your face, I think you're just dead. But let's see what will happen. And he's now on the top side having 0-5, but he's still farming kinda well. So, I mean, it doesn't matter that he's dying if he's doing something, I suppose. Okay, and now doing the usual Yasuo things, which is just jumping across the minions and dying from them. I mean, yeah, exactly. The usual Yasuo things. I think he just gave up mentally. I mean, it's common. Especially in League of Legends, like the players just give up at a certain point, and I think this is probably going to be it. Is it going to be it? I'm not quite sure, but Jarvan has 12 kills, and whoa, this was a very nice ultimate coming in with his W, and yeah, they weren't quite able to shred her. Having 8-2 as Vayne, I didn't quite anticipate that she has got so much damage. It feels nice. I feel like I want to play her, honestly. And I might actually do so. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and we're going to see us another time. Yeah, goodbye.